Hello, everybody. Welcome to Better Together. When you know better, you get better. That is what we're here to do every day. It is Wednesday, October 14th, 2020. Our quote of the day, music is to the soul what words are to the mind. That's from Modest Mouse, guys. No clue who Modest Mouse is.
I love Modest Mouse.
Great band.
Really?
Band. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
They're
the
like-
double M.
You'd like them. We'll get you a great Modest Mouse soundtrack, Maria.
Okay, perfect. Anyway, happy Wednesday to our Hill Squad. Hashtag Hill Squad. That's what we are. Kevin was really loving that, by the way.
Oh,
He's like,
good.
that's so cool. Today we're going to be talking with the lovely, sweetest thing ever, Ally Brooke. She wrote this book called Finding Your Harmony. Of course, she was part of Fifth Harmony and Dancing with the Stars and so much more. She's launched a very successful solo career. We're going to be chatting with her about her book. A lot of personal moments of having to overcome things and her journey, and it's never easy, guys. So it's always nice to hear that you're not the only one that is struggling. Even somebody you're watching on stage who looks like it's all, peaches and roses is having to deal with stuff. So I look forward to that conversation. In the meantime, if you haven't hit subscribe on YouTube, please do us the favor, because we're trying to build our YouTube and we are so grateful for all of you helping us. I went on there yesterday. I was like, pleasantly surprised. We're going up.
30.5 this morning.
Oh, hello. We need to do our victory dance.
That's right.
But that will ensure you never miss a show either. So you'll get those little notifications that, Ally Brooke's going to be on, or, whoever in this world we decide to book. If you haven't joined us on Patreon, this is the time, guys. You don't want to miss out. We are building our Hill Squad. We are building our community in so many different ways. 1, you get ad-free content. Cool. 2, you get extra content. Even cooler. 3, we are building our workshops, our healing seminars, all of these amazing, really intimate experiences with the incredible guests we have on the show. You get to have not just a front row seat, but you get to be interactive with these guests, which is huge. And then on top of it, we are building our Bachelorette viewing parties. So not only are we getting better together, but we're going to have fun together too. It's a great excuse for all of us to get together. We're already watching. And so join us every week for our Bachelor viewing party. My mom and Kevin are going to be doing it from the West Coast, by the way.
Fun.
I don't think my mom's ever watched The Bachelor, but she's really giddy to watch it. And I feel like, appointment viewing for things like that is really necessary right now. We really need those kind of things, those excuses to give us like fun moments. So I'm really excited about it as well. And so make sure you guys join us there. Of course, we have our Instagram account. That's really our hub for all of us to get together and share what we're learning, share what we're liking. We're putting on quotes from our guests. We're putting on extra content in there. So join us. It'll be a fun, positive addition in your feed. Mute out all the bad shit. Keep the good shit. We're going to be part of the good shit.
Dang right.
And so I have some important stuff to share with you guys. If you can see, my hands are slightly orange.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to share why. So as I try to perfect my self-tanning situation, realizing that the quick tan stuff I was using was absolutely hurting me in the most massive of ways, like in terms of, just giving me nasty side effects. I have been going into the clean realm, as you know, if you've been listening to the show, in skincare and all of that. And so I've used Vita Liberata so far, and I really like that, and that's pretty clean. I think it's super clean, right? Vita Liberata. Are you okay over there?
Yes.
You look like you're crying.
Not
Are your
crying.
eyes red? Are you crying inside, Kelsey?
I'm not doing
She's
any of
turning
the above.
so red now.
I'm like, why are you gonna call me out like that?
I just want to make sure you're okay.
I'm
I
hot
don't
in my
know.
sweater. I'm fine.
Okay, don't cry. Dry your eye. That's from Snoop, by the way.
Thank you, Snoop.
Okay, so now that I've got Kelsey, cherry like a tomato, and Jeff, Casper, the friendly ghost that just met the Blue Man Group, and they had intimate relations and created Jeff. Casper and the Blue Man Group. Jeff's gonna fix his camera at some
Maria
point.
loves us.
I was gonna say, Kels, we're not doing too hot this morning, but
Oh, well, no, I have a heat stroke now.
I just looked over and I'm like, poor Kelsey doesn't look happy right now.
I
Okay.
was just listening. I was intently listening.
So intently
'cause I want to
listen.
know what happens to
So
your hands.
I know I'm dying. Okay, so Vita Liberata.
Okay.
I've used it on my face. I feel like maybe I'm jaded because it kind of goes on a little green, which is a strange like sensation, but it does give color. I think it'll be better for the body than the face, and maybe it's really intended for that. So then I also tried, wasn't there another one you gave me?
Yep.
Which one?
Not the rock star one, or not the golden star. I mean, there was golden star, but then there was like there's an eco beauty one that's very, very clean.
Oh,
but it's
maybe I haven't
very
done that one
light.
yet. No.
You did. That was the one you did try. That's in the little white bottle.
Okay.
Or tube, I mean. Lotion. It's good.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah, it wasn't enough.
Okay. Now, when we went to Sephora, I am now like the Sephora like
Junkie.
junkie.
Yes.
So I got those Isle of Paradise
Yep.
drops you told me to get.
Yep.
And it says to mix it with moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was concerned that it wasn't going to have any color. It also says like 2 to 12 drops. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm going to use half the bottle every sitting. No. And it also tells you to patch test. So I was like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. I'm not going to put it on my face. So I put it on my hands yesterday before I got in the shower. I did a half of my hand thinking that I was going to, test it out. And then I realized I'm getting in the shower. What a dopey idea. Why did I do that?
Silly.
But I still got a color line. Mm-hmm. So that was intriguing. So last night before I go to bed, I'm like slathering it on with the moisturizer on my hand. And I only did like 2 drops. Guys, this works.
Yep.
I mean, you can see how orange the
Yep.
backs of my hands are from not washing. That was not
I
smart.
stole this one from some blogger who she was like, I swear to you, even the light works.
Yeah. So I'm super excited for this to fade, but then to do it on my face properly. Because it's a good color and it's pretty clean as well,
It's
right?
pretty clean. Yeah, it still has a little bit of fragrance in it, but it's very minimal. It's at the end of the list.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty as clean as you can get if you still want a good color with these self-tanners.
I'm super
and you
excited.
guys mail me some.
Oh shit, that's right,
Yes, Jeff. Jeff, I'll take
Jeff. Your
Maybe
it.
that'll
issue is not you, it's the lighting in there, whatever's going on. So that will get fixed.
But I will take you to Sephora when we come back.
That'd be a
so
fun segment, actually. We
Jeff
could do
and
like
Kelsey go to Sephora.
a dumb guy from the Midwest goes into a makeup store.
hilarious.
It's so hot in here.
It is always hot in here anyway,
is,
so
with
it's
a
hard to be in a
sweater.
sweater.
Yeah, bad choice.
Well, we're gonna get our AC installed in here.
know.
I think it's this week.
Wow.
Guys, all of the work that I have been building to, like I've gotten so much done here for my parents, and now everything that is left on the list gets done this week. So I'm super excited, and then that means we can go home the following week. So what we're aiming for, Jeff, is like a couple days before Halloween, a little surprise visit. Not surprise, because I'm telling you all now.
Surprise.
But I'm so excited. I miss my parents. I miss Kevin. I miss the baby. So we'll get our work done, and then we can go home for a minute, and then we're going to hit the road because we have some stuff with the NFL we're doing and other things, hopefully. So we're kind of, we're gearing up.
Maria's going to get me a boyfriend, Jeff, when we go to the NFL.
Nice.
I know. She told me.
Yep.
We could
on board.
also, I think, if you guys watched last night's episode too of The Bachelor, we were sussing out some of them for Kelsey as well. So
thank you. Yeah.
we'll make it happen,
Oh,
Kelsey.
yeah. Well, they were all about to get ditched anyway. So there are going to
True.
be
Yeah.
a lot of openings.
Truly. Amazing. Thanks, guys.
So the other thing that I was researching, so I used to suffer with really bad rashes. And remember I told you Yogi Cameron helped me, who's been on the show, by the way. If you haven't listened to his episodes, he's incredible. And so I started getting a rash again and on my stomach, and I was like, what the heck? And it happens here and there. And I think the only thing I've done differently was I switched over to stevia at some point. And so I looked up rashes and stevia last night, and I saw that it comes from a plant that has ragweed or is ragweed connected, or like a relative of the ragweed. And so you can get like allergies in your lungs and whatever. You can get a cough, you can get a sore throat. So starting to read people's different accounts of what happened to them on stevia. But then also, so apparently the body believes it's glucose when it goes in, but then it's not. So the body prepares as if it is glucose. So there are like some adverse things that go on, which I think sometimes is why I sometimes will revert and be like, it's probably safer to just eat the sugar than to try to do these things that, you know, are not pure. And so I went back to the sugar today, and I'm going to see if this will like clear up, and then I'm just never going to do it again.
Yeah, keep us posted. I've heard that as well. I've heard, and when I was talking to my doctor the other day, I actually asked him, and he said, if you're going to do one, monk fruit is better, but it's still in the same family of like, I mean, you think about it, you drink a Diet Coke versus a regular Coke. Neither are good for you, but honestly, the normal Coke is probably better than the bad crap in diet. So that's interesting.
This healer I worked with, or like intuitive healer, told me, guys, soda turns to formaldehyde inside of your body.
Hell no.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, you shouldn't be drinking soda, period.
Suck on that for a second there. Take that straw and think about the formaldehyde. Oh, yeah.
Scary.
I will say, on another note, the kombucha. So yesterday I was really like not feeling well, and I had just done too much. And when I pulled out the watermelon kombucha, it almost had a soda-y kind of feel.
It does,
That felt so refreshing.
Yeah.
I really loved it. It felt really good. My dad was coaching me, Jeff, through making my first soup ever.
She nailed it.
Nice.
And so I was really nervous because he's so good. His soups are epic, and it makes me want to build his business out here so bad. I wanted to build Superman.
Oh my God, I
and
love
have
that.
my dad with like a Superman thing. I thought it'd be the cutest thing ever.
I love that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And my dad would have his little food truck, and he'd have like a Kelsey with him that like worked with him, you know, like someone sweet and positive, and like
I love that.
you
I'll
know?
work with him.
And so, and you would drive around, and then and when they were in LA, we would have one in LA, and we would send him to like the Jimmy Kimmel lot or wherever, because he makes the best organic, clean soups.
That's incredible. You should really do that.
I know we really want to, but it's hard with my mom and you know everything that's going on, and so at some point I feel like he might, but I feel like he has to share this gift with the world, because like look at how hard it was yesterday. I wasn't feeling well. I wanted soup. I knew my body needed something soothing. Could not find a clean soup. All I could find was like clam chowders and all this other stuff, like thick, heavy kind of
Broccoli
soups.
cheddar.
Tomatoes, which I can't have tomatoes. It's so acidic. And I was like, okay, Kelsey was such a queen, such a good sister. Ran to the store and got vegetables. And this is funny. So I said, can you get some turkey breast so that we can put in the soup, right? Because I don't eat chicken. I'm like, I'll just have a little turkey. And so she texts me, couldn't find any turkey breast, but the deli lady said that she's going to just cut the turkey really thick slices. And I go, no, silly. I'm like, you don't put deli meat in a soup. So I call my dad. He literally laughed out loud hysterically. No, Maria. And then he goes, wait a second, Maria, you know what? And so he told me to like chop it up in cubes. He goes, it'll be fine. So we made it. I made my first soup. It wasn't perfect,
but it was good.
It was good. I was too scared with the salt. I needed to actually put some more salt in, but it was really exactly what we needed. And the turkey wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. And it was funny because really in the end, it did save the day.
It did save the day.
Because Maria was dying slowly, right? And she needed something. And so she came, you were on the phone. We were FaceTiming. Maria comes downstairs with like a cracker and a piece of turkey after being like, Kelsey, what the heck? Why did you get this?
It was like a 2-inch slice of turkey, and it's just me like...
And I was like, that's right.
Like a caveman eating this big slab of turkey with like a cracker.
Turkey saved the day at the end of the day.
I want you to just see this visual because I'm laughing at myself upstairs. And so,
So bless the turkey.
yeah, bless the turkey was good.
It's a good foreshadow of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, I'm gonna make the best Thanksgiving dinner,
Which I am spending with them over here. So very
Kelsey's
excited.
gonna have the biggest cheat day she's had in a long time because she's been trying to heal her gut with our amazing friends. If you want to give them a shout out,
Dr. Littman. He's awesome.
we're gonna have him on the show soon.
Yep.
He's a gut expert.
November 9th, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, he has a book coming out at the end of this month. He's
And?
awesome.
And who brought you to him?
Oh, Elisa Vitti, who we love.
Let's just forget Elisa.
We love. And Maria. It's all been
Forget
amazing.
me. Elisa is...
yeah. Elisa, who you guys know from the Flow Living. So she and I had a conversation about everything that's going on up in here. And she was like, girl, you have acute gut problems. Nothing's going to be fixed until you go talk to a gut man. So she sent me to Dr. Littman, and it's exciting because most people you go to, most doctors are like, okay, cut out everything, cut out this, cut out that. He's been awesome. He's like, you know what? This is supposed to be therapeutic for you, right? So if you're so restrictive that you want to like binge whatever, like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to, you're in a journey with your body, right?
Yeah.
You want to heal. So it's really cool. So I'm very appreciative.
Yeah, he sounds like he's really good. And I'm looking forward to you being healed.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too, you guys. I could use a glass of wine like a long time ago.
I know. All right. Well, let's get to our interview with Ally. I'm so excited. She is one of the world's foremost leading female pop stars, first amassing a slew of awards as a member of Fifth Harmony and then embarking on her own solo career, releasing the Billboard charting songs, including Low Key, which I love, No Good. Now she's released her first ever book titled Finding Your Harmony. Ally says her memoir is for all the dreamers out there seeking hope. Ally, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm so happy to be on, and hearing your intro was awesome. I'm so glad you love Low Key.
Oh my God. I just went through a deep dive of all your songs that you've done solo, and I'm like, they're so good. And I wonder
Thank
if you attribute that to the fact that you're writing them, because I don't think you were you writing with Fifth Harmony?
So on our very last album we were, and that was great. But now it's a different story, you know, being on my own, singing about what I want to sing about, you know, empowering, uplifting, positive songs that everyone can listen to. And it's awesome because I work with an amazing team of songwriters and producers to help formulate the songs that are in my heart. So it's been awesome. And you know, from going to such a, you know, massive girl group to now being on my own and being able to call the shots, it's been incredible. And especially when people tell you that they love your work, it's awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's like any relationship, there's so much compromise that has to happen when you're with even one other person, forget 4 other girls. So when you're like, oh, I have an idea, now I can go do it and no one's gonna stop me, how exciting it must feel.
Exactly. It's the most liberating feeling. And you know, especially just as an artist, being able to not have any barriers, really any limitations, and also having a team that empowers me and loves me for who I am and doesn't want to change the heart of who Ally is, and in fact just wants to show it to everybody. It's a blessing. So I credit my team and those around me.
Was it hard to find this team?
Yes. It was so challenging, girl. So I talk about it in my book, you know, transitioning from being in Fifth Harmony to the moment that, you know, we disbanded, and kind of processing that to being on my own. And before Fifth Harmony, you know, I was pursuing a solo career since I was 12 years old, so for many years. So that was always a dream. And then to go solo was just, wow. It was just, I'll never forget. It was this feeling of, oh my gosh, my life is just beginning. And so finding the team was the hardest part. You know, I went through so many different managers and agents, and it's literally like dating. You have to basically bare your soul and hope that this person's the one. And especially they have your career in their hands, and there's a difference between someone who believes in you but someone who executes. And I finally found the best of both worlds in my label and management, Charles Chavez and Will Bracey, who I mentioned both in the book. It's really, really awesome how our relationship just came to be. A lot of trial and error, even being like, oh, will I ever find the right team? Feeling a little hopeless.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it happened.
I'm sure. I think about that a lot with people. Like, there are so many talented people out there. And if you're in the wrong hands and you're trusting the wrong people to make decisions on your behalf, especially when you're younger, right? It's so hard to get it right. Like, you could be the most talented ever.
Yes, yes. And I talk about that too in my earlier chapters. And it's kind of my book, it's kind of like a mixture of self-help to, of course, faith-based book to, I guess, in a way, pop culture book. So many different topics and so many different ways that I write my story. And one of that is giving the reader advice. And especially, anybody who's looking to get in the music industry, I share so many tips and advice from my parents, even before making it in Fifth Harmony, what we did, what we navigated through, how we navigated, living in LA from Texas and having, no friends at first, to navigating, okay, we have to have the right producers around, the right team, trying to find management. Even I tell the reader, it's get yourself a lawyer and, parents to be on the lookout for your children and always be there and be respectful and keep a watchful eye out. There's so much to uncover, but you're very right. If you're in the wrong hands, it could be a very scary situation.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like too, you have to kind of re-find yourself probably after you separate from a group like Fifth Harmony. When you're a part of a group, I feel like you probably don't have an identity on your own. You are a collective identity. And so you probably had to go through this whole process. And I know you talk about all this, but you have to go through a whole process of finding your voice and how you want to present yourself. So how did you get to that place?
Yes, you're totally right. You're part of this big thing and it's amazing. And you find success. You find that you're part of something that is bigger than yourself and that, breaks records, takes over the world, jet setting across country to country. And it truly is incredible. Fifth Harmony was a phenomenon and people still love it. And that was amazing. But also it came with a lot of difficulties, as you can imagine. One of the things that I open up about in my book is feeling like I lost my identity. I was trying to be the big sister, the best example that I could be, positive for everyone, trying to just take care of everyone and everything. And with that, I also was a people pleaser, and that just wasn't the best formula for being in the industry. And being in a group, there's so many cooks in the kitchen, people telling you what to do, who to be. You don't really have control over anything, and that's very hard, especially, going from many years of being a solo artist, performing, doing things, my way and being my own artist and in control, to having the success I've always dreamed of and prayed about, but it looked very differently. And I experienced a lot of more challenges than I anticipated. Was so rough. And one of that was, again, losing my voice. And for me, I had to learn a lot of lessons. I wish I would have spoken up for certain things and I open up about that, everything from little things like wardrobe or makeup to more serious, meaningful things like having a little bit more singing parts or changing a certain lyric of a song. But I learned so much in Fifth Harmony and gained so much. And, once we disbanded, being able to kind of just put a reset on my life and really dig into who I wanted to be, not only as an artist, but as a young woman, as a person. That was the most beautiful thing. And finally feeling like I had the power to have my own voice, to be what I wanted to be, to say what I wanted to say. I just had to find those right people. So sometimes in that season where you do feel lost, you sometimes have to just walk through it and get through every day and take the good with the bad. But know that things do get better in time. That's the lesson that I've learned. One of the biggest lessons, and something that I hope I can help someone else find or encourage.
So well said. And it's funny because you're 27, but you've had so much life experience already. And we just had someone on the show. I mean, our whole thing here is, I feel like, generally speaking, we're re-raising ourselves here, right? We're re-raising the things that didn't serve us from our childhood, but also all the traumas that have accrued along the way, because no one's path is perfect. And so we had a guest on recently that said exactly what you just said. She was talking about seasons. And I thought that was so brilliant. And to get to hear you at 27 say, that was a season where I felt a little lost. I think that's a really impactful message for people to hear, because, there are so many challenging feelings I'm sure you were dealing with at that time. And to recognize that you kind of just got to walk through it. There's no way around it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can compartmentalize a little bit. You can tuck some shit under the bed, but like for the most part, you got to walk through the pain, but pain can transform.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What I like to say is, like, pain can turn to pride. Even in my younger years, 12 years old, moving out to LA for the first time with my parents, not having a friend, seeing all the other cool kids in movies and TV shows, having all the friends, and I was Mexican, I'm Mexican American, and I just felt out of place. Having a moment of breakdown, and as a child, and telling my mom, I'm never going to be good enough. I'm never going to be cool enough. I'm never going to be pretty enough. And her crying her eyes out with me and encouraging me. And we were crying to sleep together. The next day, Beauty for Ashes, I wrote my very first song called Be You. And that was all about being yourself. And I write about that in the book, and I share the lyrics. And that was such a moment that even to this day,
you use it,
impacts me. Yes. And I use it. I use those same words today. Be you. That little 12-year-old girl still teaches me so much. And that's just one example of how you can use your pain and turn it into pride, whatever that may mean to whoever's listening and whoever's out there.
It's interesting because I wrote down here, when I'm doing my research, I'm kind of like looking at everything. I'm reading the book, I'm looking at social media, I'm reading the stories along the way. And I wrote two things down that I thought would really help people. And it was talking about rejection.
Yes.
And not good enough. I was like, she didn't feel, and probably still doesn't feel 100% good enough, because I think that's the journey a lot of us have to go on for a long ass time.
A long time, girl.
Before we get there. And I was like, I feel like a lot of people look at celebrities and think, oh my God, they have it all. But it's not the case. There are so many challenges hidden behind those smiles.
Oh, yes. And that's what I tried to tuck away, especially the fans would lovingly call me the sunshine of the group. And I really wanted to live up to that name. I wanted to, in my mind, what I thought was just be strong and keep it together and pretend that everything was, perfect and all right. But through writing my book, getting this chance to share my stories and my pain, to help somebody else, that's the most beautiful thing, because it doesn't matter who you are or what your job is. We've all felt insecure. We've all felt lonely. We've all felt helpless. we've all needed a miracle or prayer or help. So just showing people that it is possible to make it to the other side, even when you feel like you're not or you don't want to. It is possible. And for me, my faith was a thread that held me together my whole life.
Yeah, I can tell. I mean, everything I was reading, I know your faith is so, I mean, it's even on the cover of the book, but
Yeah.
when I look at your kind of journey, I feel like even with X Factor, there was elements of that where you felt rejected, right? Like because
Yeah.
instead of celebrating you, you share in the book, they mocked you. And then I feel like there's that through line in your life where mocking has been an issue.
Yes.
And
You're
there are-
absolutely right.
and I just kept watching the through line, and I was like, even to Dancing with the Stars, you were afraid to do Dancing with the Stars because you were afraid they were going to make fun of you. And what's amazing is, I mean, I want to talk about those kind of feelings to help connect for people, but then when I saw you do your paso, I mean, I could cry right now. It was crazy amazing because I
thank
saw this
you.
girl just
You made me cry.
completely like throw all of it away, and
Yeah.
it was like this new human was being born in that moment. I don't know how else to explain it.
Thank you so much. That's exactly how I felt. And I just want to thank you for understanding me and my story. Some people may not, some people may try to focus on other things and negativity and drama, but you focus on my story. So I just want to first of all thank you for that.
You're
Because
welcome.
it is a journey that I've been on my whole life. And on Dancing with the Stars, to have that moment where, like you say, I throw that all away and I became who I always wanted to be, this fortress, this powerhouse, showing the world my true potential and capability, when so many people told me that I would never amount to anything, people don't care about me, I'm not good enough, all these horrible things. And then, of course, dealing with that rejection my whole life, and still hanging on and fighting through and believing that one day I'll get my shot, I'll get my redemption. And you just see that on the show in that moment, and it's beautiful and powerful and something that I can't describe. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I
You're
want to give you a
welcome.
hug right now. It really means a lot.
Yeah, well, I felt it. I feel like, it's hard because the business is hard enough, right?
Yeah.
And then the rejection that comes along with it is the part that people don't see. The part that
Yes.
people see is the successes, but the rejection is something that you have to deal with on a continuous basis.
Yes, exactly. And my gosh, I've had my fair share of rejection for 15 years. And I mean, for example, I share in the book that post Fifth Harmony, I got rejected by all the labels that were available. And my manager at the time was so sweet and was like, "Oh my gosh, you're gonna have no problem. You're gonna have a bidding war, and it's gonna be incredible. You're gonna just choose whoever you want." And I detail the meetings and how they went, and they were dry, and some were even great. Like this one, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this one I have in the bag." They're gonna offer me something, and all the doors shut, and I just fell on the floor, crying my eyes out, saying like, "God, am I ever going to be able to make music, what I've dreamed of since I was a little child?" And feeling like that may not happen. It was horrible, and feeling angry, even angry at God, and like, why, God? Everything that I do when I'm trying to, every door I try to open is just always being closed. And after year after year after year after year, you can only take so much.
Yep.
But again, God, as he always does, turned things around, and a door that was closed reopened and changed my life. And that is how I found Charles Chavez and my label. And it's just the Lord and his goodness and his faithfulness, and just having that mustard seed, and sometimes people to just comfort you and pray for you and lift you up. Like sometimes when you don't even want to pray, you just have other people, just holding on to that faith and that dream and just that belief. That's my word, is believe, because miracles can happen, and God could just change everything. I've seen it with my own eyes. So.
Yeah. Well, it's hard because when it's your dream and you've tasted it, and now you're like, how do I get it back? How do I live to my full potential?
Yes.
Right? Because if it ended there, your soul would be just crushed. I know that a lot of people would say, well, just be appreciative of what you had, but it's like, I didn't even get to where I was supposed to be.
Exactly. And that's what people would tell me, and it's like exactly what you're saying is like, wait, I'm not even giving the chance.
Yeah.
And that's what was devastating, time after time, when I was a young child, to being in Fifth Harmony, to after. But praise the Lord, I'm here today sharing my story, sharing that I overcame that it is possible, that like what man can close, God can reopen.
Ooh.
And it's just him and what he's done. And that's my true purpose for this book, is to write for all those little girls and boys and maybe adults or even grandmas who felt like I did, or who feel like I did. That's my purpose with the book.
You never lose unless you quit. That's my favorite quote from my favorite wrestler.
I love that.
You never lose unless you quit. So you got to keep fighting, and you kept fighting, and that's why you're here. I wonder, were you hesitant? Were you scared in different moments in this journey to share things?
Yes, I was really nervous. There's quite a few things in there. Everything from, the body shaming that I endured. Of course, it's embarrassing, and you don't want people to, you don't want to open up those old wounds again.
Mm-hmm. Or call more attention to things, because the fear is you'll get more of it, right?
Yes, exactly. But also knowing that, hey, this story is going to help so many people feel validated and feel confident and feel comfortable in themselves and their skin. I remember, I think I shared something about body positivity, and even that alone just helped like so many girls, and they wrote me messages on social media or in person saying like, you helped me to accept myself and my body. That is so awesome. You don't even understand. But yes, everything from even my personal choice to saving myself from marriage, I was super nervous about that. That's something that is not generally accepted or celebrated in Hollywood. So of course I'm gonna think, oh man, I'm setting myself up here. But at the same time, a book is the opportunity to own your truth. Mm-hmm. And I celebrate anybody who does that, whether it's the same choice as me or a different choice. And that's what I think is so beautiful about being a human and being in 2020, is that there are people out there in a community who can build you up, even if you think differently or live differently. I love that. You just see that too. I'm just thankful for my friends. I have friends from so many different walks and backgrounds, and I just adore them. And when it came out, I guess, in the press that I chose that, I talk about that in the book, I received so much love and support and respect. And I was like, wow, that is so comforting and so beautiful to me. And then, of course, the inappropriate behavior by the executives at the different labels, that was super scary to open up about too.
Was
'Cause
that
of
part of
course,
when you were going to meet with people for your solo career?
no. So this was in Fifth Harmony. So around like 2016.
Okay.
So it was kind of when we were like at, one of the highest points in our career.
Yeah, tell everybody the
And
story
yeah.
so they know what we're talking
So
about.
yeah. So at the time, again, I detail more in the book and you kind of lead up to that moment. I was looking for help and there was a lot going on, just in the group and a lot of things that happened in that point, in the public and all that. And I was seeking help and advice because at the time I didn't feel that anybody around me, the management stuff wasn't helping. So I sought advice. And this person, he's super powerful in the music industry. Everybody knew his name. And I confided in him and I felt safe and I felt like he could help me. So I met with him for lunch in New York. And then when I met with him, one of the first things he said was, "Hey, here you go. Here's a thong." And he gave me a thong and he's like, "Oh, you look so good in that." And just made me feel so disgusted. And also, I was already so vulnerable to be thinking, "Oh, this person's going to help me. Yay." And then knowing that person's intentions and how he manipulated the situation, he used me, and he made me feel so embarrassed and just trapped. It was awful. And then another time, he texted me to come to his hotel room, and obviously you know where that's going. And I didn't text him again. I didn't text him back. And at the time, this person is a super powerful music executive. So you're thinking, oh my gosh, is this person going to lie about me? Is this person going to blackball me? Is this person going to make sure I never work again? Is he going to tell like my record label anything or try to manipulate something? Or you just think all these horrible thoughts because at the time people weren't being held accountable. But now it's a different story, and that person is really just not working in the industry. So
I was just going to ask, has he been Me Too'd yet?
Yeah. Yes. And I knew it. I'm like, there's no way I'm the only one.
Yeah.
And it's horrible and disgusting. But again, that was, even though I shouldn't have been embarrassed or ashamed, I still somehow felt that. It's a very...
How could you not? You're at lunch with this super powerful person, vulnerable, asking for help, and this is where their head's at. I mean, you probably didn't even know how to handle yourself in that moment. Like, I would have been in complete shock. My body would have frozen.
Yeah.
And then later I would have said, why didn't I knock him out?
Right. I know. Now I'm like, ooh, I wish I would have. But, feeling that fear and that anxiety, and especially at that time when things were happening that you would hear about and, oh, that's just so and so, and it was accepted, which is so awful and disgusting. And I cannot imagine the women and people who have gone through that situation and have felt trapped, that has become a nightmare for them. So that's why I opened up to be a voice, and I was super scared. And I almost said, I told my management, my publishers, like, I don't know if I'm comfortable putting this in fully. I'm on the fence, but this is what happened. And I just decided to keep it in there. And I was encouraged that, hey, this could help so many people and women to be on alert, be on guard, and to know that you do not accept that and you do not fear these disgusting people.
Did he ever reach out to you?
Again, no. After since the book?
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I'd be curious. Or
Thank
even
God.
After he got Me Too'd. You never know.
Yeah. You never know.
Interesting.
But no, I have not heard from that person in years.
So after that happened, I wonder, did it change you? Were you scared to interact with a lot of these people that even you were hearing, oh, that's just them, that's what they're like? How did you protect yourself?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. I feel like I kind of just knew to be on alert since then. and be very careful with who I interacted with, who I opened up with. I definitely learned that lesson the hard way. So yeah, after that, there was already this how do you say, like, this perception of having to be careful with what you say and who you can trust, but that definitely put it on high alert. And again, as you see in the book, I'm so close to my family, and I have a lot of friends who I know I can trust. Some who are in the music industry, and some who are not, who are just from Texas, or people I've met at church, who I've formed and trusted, and knowing that I had them, and having them to talk to and turn to was really, really comforting. But yes, after that, I definitely was guarded.
Yeah, I imagine. What do people not know about celebrity and fame and success that you would like to share?
Oh, wow. There is so much. You know, I always, I obviously want to encourage everyone to go for their dreams, and if they have a passion for music, to follow that, but to be really careful. There is so much that goes on, from obviously that to abuse of power. People do uh, bully you and demean you and try to twist things and tell you that you're not good enough, or all these things, and they'll attack you for your beliefs and your values. They'll say that you're not they'll basically just try to break you. And also, there is a lot of online bullying that happens, and a lot of people's words, some are awesome, and so encouraging and uplifting, but some are very they can really hurt. So kind of understanding that, I don't know, it's funny, but I don't consider myself a celebrity. I just call myself like an artist or a singer. But singers and actors and entertainers, they're people and humans. And yes, sometimes you're not going to agree with someone, and that's totally fine. But you don't have to be mean. I mean, unless that person's like, well, no, even not. Sometimes, like the Bible says, turn the other cheek. But just knowing that your words have impact, whether you are in a label or whether you're behind the screen, just uplift people, because sometimes people need it more than you think.
And you're working on your first feature, right? Are you currently in Atlanta right now?
Yes, I am in Atlanta,
starring in a movie.
Film. Yes. Oh my gosh. It is such a dream in my heart. And I just posted about it on Instagram yesterday. So now, people know. And so it's starring me and Kelsey Grammer, who I'm actually about to meet him literally after this, I think. So I'm filming right after your interview. I'm going to set, and I'm a huge fan of him. He's such a legend, and I've heard he's just an incredible human being. So that's an honor for me. My first film to be with someone so prestigious as that. And then also, I love my other co-star named Taylor Gray. He's just absolutely incredible. The whole crew, the whole cast is just, it couldn't be more of a family and more perfect and more special. And the film and the script, it's a drama on the male lead's journey to redemption with his father, and their estranged relationship, and a journey to follow his own dreams of being a professional soccer player. But it's such an incredible story that hits home for me on a lot of different areas. And to be behind a project that has such personal meaning to me and has such a purpose. It talks about mental health, and it talks about so much. It's so special. I know the day that we wrap, I'm gonna just cry like a baby, because this is one of the most beautiful things I've been a part of, and a dream since I was 12. So it's beautiful, and I can't wait for y'all to one day see it.
I can't wait to see it too. I feel like you're one of the few productions in play. So, I mean, and also, here's the other thing. Like I always say, life's happening for you, not to you. right? It was
Love that girl.
I learned it from Tony Robbins, and it has guided
Yes,
me
he's
through.
awesome.
It's been my like guiding set of words. Life is happening for you, not to you. Imagine you might have been on tour right now. If I'm not wrong, you might have not
Yeah.
had this opportunity to act in your first film.
Wow. Wow. That is so true because it was supposed to actually originally before COVID film in June, and I might have been on a summer tour or the summer radio tours.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's amazing how things fall into place. And sometimes, other things you're like, man, because my tour had to be cut short because of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
which is devastating. But again, like just knowing that this may not have happened, like you said, it's mind blowing. And this is one of the most beautiful things I've ever been a part of. It's incredible. It really is incredible. And like you said, life is happening for you
Yep.
and not to you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I think it's a great way to end. I feel like you are finding your harmony.
Yes.
The
Thank
book
you.
is great. And
so
you're such a good, pure soul.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you
So-
so much. And just being able to show people my heart for the first time, and also my family and all they did for me, my parents, all the sacrifices. I mean, gosh, everything for my mom, my sweet mom and her back, and just being able to share that for the first time is so beautiful. So thank you again for
Oof.
loving my story and me, and I'm so happy to show people my faith and my family and my walk. So thank you for valuing that and protecting that. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate that.
You're welcome. I feel it very strongly. You're a good person, and you have a great journey ahead of you, and you're a great
thank you.
example. So just keep it up.
Thank you so much, Maria. And
You're
same to
welcome.
you. You're
Always
an
here for you.
inspiration.
Always here
Thank
for you.
you. Same here. God bless you.
You too. So Ally's memoir, Finding Your Harmony, is available wherever books are sold. It's #1, like across so many charts, guys, for a reason. So now you're going to be waiting for New York Times bestseller list, right?
Right, yes, I'm gonna be peeking.
That's the next.
whatever God has, I guess. But we're definitely gonna keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah,
for
you're
that.
going to get on there for sure. We're going to link this book to the Amazon page in the description so you can click on it easily. And you can follow Ally on all of her socials at Ally Brooke. Wow, I didn't know I was going to be crying today, but
Me neither, honestly.
feel
mean,
such
I
a
did,
strong
but
connection.
not on camera. But it's wonderful. It's beautiful. Just thank you, and I hope that this story will bless so many people and bring hope and light to them. Thank you.
Mwah. We'll talk soon.
Yes.
Go kick ass with
Bye,
Kelsey
guys.
Grammer.
Yes, that's right, girlfriend. Thank you.
You're
Bye,
welcome.
guys. God
Bye,
bless
Gorge.
you.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oof.
I know. Oh, we gotta get Jeff back.
Oof.
Jeff, come back. Maria, you always make me cry.
I'm here. I've got to because you just got to ask me for my video, I believe.
That's to start video.
That was like
Yes.
Wow,
intense.
wow. What was
She's
incredible.
So sweet. Just
Yeah.
like when we talk about what it means to be a ball of light, I feel like that phrase comes up on the show. There's certain celebrities and
Yeah.
people in the industry that you just kind of like protect at all costs.
Yep.
Like she feels like one of them,
Yeah.
you know?
For
Yep.
sure.
And Maria, I mean, you said it was like you can feel. Doesn't matter if it's Zoom. You could feel her energy through the, and she's
I felt all of her pain
yeah.
so deeply. Cause I see a girl who just wants to be good,
Yeah.
and she wants to do good.
Yep.
And she just wants to live her dreams.
Yep.
Right? So I see myself in her. I feel her pain. I feel similar pains. It's a rough world out there, guys. So you gotta protect
Yeah.
good, energy and good people. And so I know it's challenging for her as she's doing press tours. A lot of people want to ask her about, Camilla and, the dramas and that. And I know what that's like, and I'm not interested in any of that, because a lot of that stuff is generally false.
Yeah.
And it's created to pit people up against each other because it sells. And so you know, there's just no reason to. So
I didn't know her Me Too story. That hit for me.
Yeah, she talks about it in the book. But it's,
I mean, you looked at me, I'm like, over here.
I know, her jaw was like dropped.
It's just so sick.
So
She's amazing.
that does it for us today. Hashtag Hill Squad. Thank you for being with us. Like I said, if you haven't hit subscribe on YouTube, please do, for you and for us. If you haven't left us a review on Apple Podcasts, please do. Consider it like your Halloween present instead of like us trick-or-treating at your doorstep. Like, leave us a
Yes.
and if you liked today's episode, check out episode number 139 with Colby Calais, whose stories about dating broke in People magazine the week we ran her spot. And I know we covered a lot this week, so join us tomorrow to talk about our biggest takeaways and lessons from both shows. And that's it. Follow us at Better Together with Maria, at Ally Brooke, at Jeffrey Crane Graham, at Kelsmeyer 2, and remember, be nice people, make good choices, and be present.